Hi there, this is Tom back with another episode of Truth Be Told. This is number 8. Well, this experience took place at Graveyard Fields, which is just outside of Asheville, North Carolina, upon the Blue Ridge Parkway at mile marker 417, I believe. Yeah, or 419. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's right there somewhere. Well, I was spending the day there with my son's mom, and we were walking along the creek that runs through it, which comes down from a place called Black Balsam, and that was a mountain that overlooked this area called Graveyard Fields. It got its name Graveyard Fields because long ago the trees burned down, leaving just stumps, which people thought looked like tombstones, and so it got the name Graveyard Fields. I'm sure there's some ancient graves there, because there are everywhere, but that's not why it has that name. Well, we were walking along the creek, and something caught my eye in the water. It was a small piece of white quartz. It was glowing, and I thought, wow, that's really catching the sun and throwing off a bright light. And so I went to check it out, and I picked it up out of the water, and it was still glowing. It wasn't from the sun shining on it just right. And my partner said, wow, that's crazy. That's really something else. And we went over next to the creek under a bush and sat down along the trail, and I was just holding the rock, and we were looking at it, and then I just placed it in my left, I put my palm up like this and placed the rock right there in my left hand, and we both saw this happen at the same time. Patterns, like little rainbow colored patterns and shapes. It looked like some sort of language that I wasn't familiar with at all. It looked real ancient. Started flowing from the rock into my flesh, and it was making these patterns pulse out into my hand, and then it started moving up my arm, and my partner looked at me and said, oh my God, what is happening? She said, is that okay? Does it hurt? What is it? And we didn't know, and I told her it doesn't hurt, and I said it seems okay, whatever it is. And then the patterns, they kept moving up my arm, and I was getting curious what was going to happen when it got, to my head. And that's what happened. The patterns made it all the way up my arm, and when it got to my head area, I started having an out-of-body type experience. I still knew I was sitting on the ground, but I couldn't see the creek or the bushes. I was seeing the mountain in front of me, which was Black Balsam, like it was in ancient times. And there were two large skyscraper type structures sticking out of the top of the mountain that were huge staffs of quartz crystal. And I could see in the vision that these crystals were a place where souls lived. I could see souls coming and going from the crystals as though they were coming and going from home. And so it was like high-rise condos for disembodied entities. And you know, those, after this vision played out, it stopped, and I was back, you know, in my body, sitting there on the ground looking at the rock again in my hand, and the patterns had stopped. And you know, I'd shared my experience with my partner, and she thought that was really something else. You know, I did too. And let's see, what else? Oh yes, up near the place at Black Balsam where I saw the crystals sticking out of the ground, there's actually a place there called Shining Rock, and it's the base of what would have been one of these crystal towers sticking out of the ground. Look it up on the computer. It's called Shining Rock at Black Balsam, Blue Ridge Parkway, North Carolina. Yeah, Black Balsam is at mile marker 420 for anybody that's looking for it. I think, yeah, 419, 420. And so, I mean, there was some proof there that I actually was seeing something from our own ancient past. Just blew my mind, really. I have held other rocks in my hands over the years, wondering if I had some ability to communicate with rocks, and it doesn't seem to work that way. It's only happened that one time. And you know, maybe I'll try some more, but yeah. If you see a glowing rock, I think it's trying to tell you something. That's my experience. And that is about it for this experience. And yeah, I wanted to add on a part about the last episode. I forgot to mention that because of that haunted house I grew up in, that was where I learned as a kid that whether people have bodies or not, they all want the same thing. They want to be acknowledged, respected, loved, and to be helpful to you if you ask them nicely. And yeah, we're surrounded by spirits at all times. The more you intentionally interact with them, the more you'll notice them there and have things happen. I try not to draw too much attention to them because I'm trying to, you know, just live my life without being busy with that the whole time. But I often just say hi to everybody because I do know that they're there. And I know that they appreciate that. Well, anyway, that's it for Truth Be Told number 8, I believe. Yeah. Okay, we'll see how many more of these I can make tonight. Good night, everybody. Oh, good night, everybody. Try this again.